We're live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Leopard coming up in the next 30 minutes. Last day of filing nominations for the fifth phase of India's general election today. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi to file papers from Rae Bareli parliamentary constituency. Congress KL Sharma to contest from Amethi. India slams Pakistan at United Nations General Assembly session, says Pakistan harbours most dubious track record on all aspects. US says no indication Hamas planning attack on US troops. US Secretary of Defense says adequate measures in place for the safety of military personnel. And US criticizes China for using water cannon against Filipino vessels in South China Sea, says damage, injury to Philippines, irresponsible behaviour. Well, now let's get you the latest in the world's largest democratic election in India. Well, Friday is the last date for filing nominations for the seats that will go to polls on May 20th in the fifth round of the seven-phase general elections. Ending the suspense, Congress leader and Wayanad Member of Parliament Rahul Gandhi announced his candidacy from Uttar Pradesh's Rae Bareli seat. The Gandhi family stronghold vacated by his mother Sonia Gandhi. Gandhi family loyalist Kishori Lal Sharma will also file nomination from Amethi, the seat that Rahul Gandhi lost to Union Minister Smriti Irani in 2019. And India's Amritpal Singh joins us from North Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. Well, Amrit, the Congress has today morning announced its candidate from Rae Bareli and Amethi, which was very much awaited. Last day of nomination today. When is the filing likely to happen?
Well, the filing will happen in some time from now. We understand that Rahul Gandhi, along with his sister Priyanka Gandhi and Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge would be present for when Rahul Gandhi goes in and files his nomination in front of the returning officer in Amethi, in Rae Bareli, I'm sorry. And we also understand that the trio will then go down to Amethi, from where, as you just said, that Gandhi family loyalist Kishori Lal Sharma is will be filing his nomination papers. So they would want to show a strength, put on a show of strength, and do the nomination with much fanfare. There is obviously a lot of excitement about it in the media and Congress circles, because for a very long time the frenzy in the media is just because it's Rahul Gandhi and they're interested in it, and these seats were talked about for a very long time. Congress understandably is elated because the Congress rank and file wanted the Gandhi family to return to their what are called the family bastions, both Rae Bareli and Amethi. Though from Amethi it's not the family really, it is a family loyalist, but he's being seen as a sort of nominee of Sonia Gandhi, who you just said has moved now to Rajya Sabha from Rajasthan. So Lepakshi, that's what it is.
Right. Amrit, you are in UP right now. In phase 3, we have 10 important constituencies like Mainpuri, Badon, Agra, Etah. How is the political scene heating up there, considering caste dynamics will play an important factor there?
Hectic campaigning is on. Campaigning will finish on the 5th. It goes to polls on the 7th. So with just days left, hectic campaigning is on. Leaders of all political parties, Mayawati, the BSP Supremo, is campaigning. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath is campaigning. Yesterday in Hathras, Jayant Chaudhary of the RLD, who switched sides and moved to the NDA just before the election, was campaigning for the BJP candidate, who's a sitting minister in the UP government. Then Mulayam Singh Yadav's daughter-in-law, who had won in the polls by polls in after his death from the Mainpuri seat, is again the candidate. Her husband and former Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav is campaigning for her. She herself is going door to door in her constituency. So almost, apart from the candidates, almost all leaders, the big leaders, the state leadership of various political players are campaigning here. What the political scenario really is that, to give you a sense, the last time around the BJP had won 8 out of the 10 seats that go to polls. So it is a dominant force here. The situation was not much different the 5 years before that. It was in 2014 also. They had won 7 out of the 10 seats. The Samajwadi Party last time around had 2 seats, Sambal and Mainpuri. Mainpuri being a stronghold of the Yadav clan. If the first 2 phases were really Jat dominated, though there are Jats in some constituencies here, the Yadavs are the dominant community in most of the constituencies, though in Hathras and Agra you also have a sizable Dalit population. So there is Muslim population in Bareli. So caste, as you said, will play an important role in shaping the political dynamic of this region.
Right. Thank you so much, Amrit, for that update from there. And campaigning for the 3rd phase of Lok Sabha elections intensified, with top leaders holding back-to-back rallies to woo the voters. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is visiting West Bengal and Jharkhand in order to garner support in party's favour. PM Modi started his day with holding a public rally in West Bengal's Bardhaman. He will later hold rallies in Krishnanagar and Bolapur. The Prime Minister will hold rally in Jharkhand's Chaibasa later in the day. And with the Lok Sabha polls underway and the election campaigning at its peak, BJP leader and Union Home Minister Amit Shah will visit Karnataka, Maharashtra and Goa today to sought support of voters for their respective party candidates. Amit Shah to hold rallies in Karnataka's Hukeri, Maharashtra's Ratnagiri and Sangli. Later in the day, he will hold rally in North Goa. And as Gadag district of Karnataka prepares for the polls on the 7th of May, fear and panic has gripped few villages in the interior after a leopard was sighted in the vicinity. Despite attempts by the Forest Department, the animal has evaded any attempt to capture him and remained elusive. Now, as the news of the sighting and attacks on livestock spreads, the villagers have stopped venturing out of their homes, casting a serious doubt on whether they will gather courage to come out and vote on the 7th of May.
Majestic as they look, these hillocks overlooking rural expanse in Gadag district of southern Indian state of Karnataka have also become the natural habitat of 2 leopards in recent months. The leopard sightings by the locals have created panic, and fear has gripped residents of at least 4 villages in the area. The latest sighting was on Tuesday, 30th of April. The dusty lanes of Kuntoji village now wear a deserted look while the day is still young. People here say that they have stopped venturing out of homes as the feline has attacked, and they have also increased the vigil.
The leopard sighting has created considerable terror, and we are afraid to venture out of the homes. Going to polls will also be difficult in such situation.
It was sighted some days back. The Forest Department is not making full efforts to catch the leopards. More efforts is needed.
However, the Forest Department disagrees. The officials say that the leopard is a nocturnal animal, so any fear of it attacking the livestock or the human beings in the day are minimal. Besides, they claim that they have put in 5 capture cages across the area to catch the animal. we managed to reach one such trap deep inside the forest area. This, however, was not functioning properly. The Forest Department has also promised to increase vigil and deploy more staff on the polling day so that the villagers can go and exercise their franchise.
In the night, the leopard remains active. We have patrolling team and staff. A cage has been kept to catch the leopard. The team is always present.
The sighting in Kuntoji and three villages in the vicinity of hillocks is a constant headache for the Forest Department. In the past 4 months, there have been instances of the animal attacking farmers in the field and also the domestic animals. Senior citizens and children don't venture out unless absolutely necessary.
The Forest Department of the area has placed 5 such cages throughout the affected area to capture the leopard. They have also deployed drones and fired in the air to scare away the animal. But so far, the leopard has been elusive, outsmarting everyone and keeping himself away from such traps. He has avoided the lure of meat and water kept inside these cages. But with the date of May 7th approaching fast, time is running out for everyone. If the leopard is captured, the villagers of the affected areas will feel secure enough to come out and exercise their franchise. With camera person Murmukut Sharma, Ravi Dhiman, DD India in Gadag district of Karnataka.
Well, with an electorate of little more than 1 million and a total 16 candidates from 6 parties in the fray, the ruling BJP and the Congress remain the major players in the state's political landscape. Jessica Taneja reports for more from North Goa.
Union Minister of State for Ports, Shipping and Waterways and Tourism, Shripad Nayak, aims to secure a 6th successive term by winning the North Goa parliamentary seat once again.
The development is visible all over Goa. Anti-incumbency is not an issue in Goa. We have always worked for the development of Goa and its people. The state and the central government are working on the development of the place. We will continue to work like this in the future as well.
From the need for better infrastructure such as roads, bridges and transportation facilities to the importance of tourism development that balances growth with environmental conservation, the residents of Kalangut are clear about what they want for their region.
It's the main issue in Kalangut is the electricity, because there are frequent electricity cuts over here and there is no 24 hours water supply for everybody. So that is the main concern. Lots of improvement is done, like the roads, even the bridges are built over here. Development wise, the constituency has done very good.
However, the opposition feels that the ruling dispensation has done nothing for the youth, and preserving land resources has become a pressing need.
First of all is jobs, they say, educational facilities. And then they say, suppose we go abroad, we go all over India, and we want to come back and settle here. We want to have our own little hut, small place. Will there any land be left?
For many decades, the North Goa constituency has been home to the Shanta Durga temple and the Khuris chapel, which coexist in harmony. This unique coexistence hasn't altered the complex electoral landscape of the region.
There's a chapel here, there's a temple here, and we get along like brothers. There's a Hindu family there who have been celebrating the novenas. They sit inside, pray rosary. So we have very good harmony here. And that's the whole ethos of going Karpon.
As the election day dawns, they stand united, ready to cast their votes, knowing that their choices will pave the way for a better tomorrow. Jessica Taneja for DD India.
Well, the 7th Joint Defence Cooperation Committee meeting between India and Indonesia will be held in New Delhi today. Both sides will exchange views on regional and global issues of shared interest. Indonesian Secretary General, who is on a visit to India till May 4th, will also have discussions with Indian defence industries in New Delhi and Pune. The Defence Cooperation Agreement between the two countries was signed in 2001 and it has now been diversified to include military-to-military exchanges, high-level visits, capacity building and training programs. And India slammed Pakistan as Islamabad's envoy tried to provoke Delhi. Speaking at United Nations General Assembly session on culture of peace, Indian envoy to UN Ruchira Kamboj said that Pakistan harbors a most dubious track record on all aspects. Kamboj's statement came after Pakistan's UN envoy Munir Akram's remarks against India.
Used to set aside the remarks from a certain delegation, which not only lack decorum, but also detract from our collective efforts due to their destructive and pernicious nature. We would strongly encourage that delegation to align with the essential principles of respect and diplomacy that must always guide our discussions. Or is that too much to ask of a country that harbors a most dubious track record on all aspects in itself?
And still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Hamas delegation is set to visit Egypt soon for further talks, affirms the group's positive spirit in studying the ceasefire proposal. UN, EU, US urge Georgia to halt foreign agents bill as protests grow. And we'll give you weather updates on the devastating effects of floods in many areas.
E-waste is growing phenomenally in India, and I think it's time that we reconsidered our consumption patterns.
We need to formalize repairs, we need to formalize refurbishments, and by law also they are permitted.
It expands their repair network, the consumer gets benefit because it's cheaper and it's accessible, and the guy is able to make a living.
Government policies and in fact the road engineering policy says the surface road should have a better product, adding the crumb rubber to the bitumen overcome with its inherent weaknesses.
I felt the urge to try to change something, especially multi-layered plastics can't be recycled. It's a huge burden on our environment.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Vipakshi Khurana, and moving on, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said he does not see any indication Hamas is planning any attack on U.S. troops in Gaza, 8 Pyre, as being built there. Austin was talking to media after meetings with Australian Deputy PM Richard Marles, Japan Minister of Defense Minoru Kihara, and Philippine Secretary of National Defense Gilberto Teodoro Jr. in Hawaii. The U.S. Secretary of Defense said adequate measures are being put in place for the safety of military personnel.
I don't see any indications currently that there is an active intent to do that. Having said that, Phil, this is a combat zone, and a number of things can happen, a number of things will happen, and the safety and security of our troops is very important to me. Our allies are also providing security in that area as well, and so it's going to require that we continue to coordinate with them very closely to ensure that if anything happens, that our troops are protected.
Well, Hamas said a delegation is set to visit Egypt soon for further ceasefire talks in the Gaza conflict. In a statement, Hamas said that Haniyeh had affirmed the group's positive spirit in studying the ceasefire proposal during telephonic conversation with Egypt's intelligence chief. Earlier, Hamas chief Ismail Haniyeh discussed the ongoing Gaza ceasefire talks in separate phone calls with Egypt's intelligence chief Abbas Kamel and Qatar's Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani. Hamas on last Saturday said it received Israel's latest position and would study it before giving a reply. Also, the Egyptian state-affiliated Al Qahira News quoted a high-level Egyptian source as saying that the Hamas delegation would arrive in Cairo in the next 2 days. Egypt recently renewed its bid to push stalled negotiations between Israel and Hamas to agree a ceasefire in Gaza. And Turkey has halted exports and imports to and from Israel. Turkish Trade Ministry in a statement said export and import transactions related to Israel have been stopped covering all products. The statement further reads, Turkey will strictly and decisively implement these new measures until the Israeli government allows an uninterrupted and sufficient flow of humanitarian aid to Gaza. Turkey last month imposed trade restrictions on Israel over what it said was Israel's refusal to allow Ankara to take part in aid airdrop operations for Gaza and its offensive on the enclave. The two countries had a trade volume of $6.8 billion in 2023. And the announcement came after Israel's Foreign Minister Israel Katz said Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan was breaking agreements by blocking ports from handling Israeli imports and exports. Israel Katz, in a social media post, said he instructed the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to work to create alternatives for trade with Turkey, focusing on local production and imports from other countries. And flare-up between China and Philippines refused to die down after Beijing's use of water cannon against Filipino vessels at a disputed shoal in the South China Sea. Now, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has criticized it, saying it was an irresponsible behavior and disregards international law. Austin said this at a news conference after meeting with leaders from Australia, Japan and the Philippines amid increasing concerns about Chinese military aggression in the Pacific.
Filipino crews are put in danger, where sailors have been injured and property damage. That's irresponsible behavior, and it disregards international law. So, Phil, I won't get into any hypotheticals on what could happen and how it could happen. I would just say that you've heard me say, you've heard our president say a number of times that our commitment to the treaty is ironclad, and we stand with the Philippines.
Well, last month, U.S. and Chinese defense chiefs spoke, during which Austin stressed the importance of respect for higher seas, freedom of navigation as guaranteed under international law, especially in the South China Sea. Beijing has asserted its desire to control access to the South China Sea and bring Taiwan under its control by force if necessary. And Georgia's controversial Foreign Agents Bill continued to create ripples as top governing bodies and West expressing criticism over it and protesters occupying the streets. The United Nations, European Union, the US, Britain, Italy and Germany condemned the bill, terming it as Russian-inspired. The EU warns it could harm Tbilisi's ambitions of joining the bloc, while the US said the bill threatened free speech. However, the governing Georgian Dream Party argues the bill will boost transparency of foreign funding, but protesters fear it could be used to crush critical voices ahead of parliamentary elections later this year. Parliament on Wednesday approved the second reading of the bill. Debates on Thursday were cancelled due to criticism. Lawmakers are now expected to give the bill its third and final reading in around 2 weeks. And some weather updates now. In Brazil, at least 13 people have died due to heavy rains. Brazil's southernmost state of Rio Grande do Sul is grappling with one of the worst storms in recent years, prompting the state government to declare a state of public calamity. At least 21 people are missing and 5,257 have been displaced. Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva visited devastated town of Santa Maria, where he offered full support and aid. And as devastating floods continue to wreak havoc in Kenya, officials on Thursday evacuated stranded tourists. Around 100 tourists were stranded since the flood hit on April 29th. Officials airlifted tourists from disaster points and rescued them. Workers and visitors have been evacuated safely and transferred to nearby hotels and camps where there is no flooding. And Sri Lanka braces for a scorching day as heat wave continues, with the island's Department of Meteorology issuing an extreme caution level advisory for 8 districts. As per the advisory issued by the Met Department, the heat index is expected to increase up to 46 to 52 levels in the northern, north, central and some districts of Eastern Province. The Met Department has also advised people to remain hydrated and avoid continuing activity under the sun to avoid heat cramps and heat stroke. And amid severe heat wave conditions in different parts of Bangladesh, the country's salt production has reached its highest output in 63 years. Bangladesh's salt production reached 22.34 lakh tons this year, which is the highest since its production started 63 years ago. According to the Bangladesh Small and Cotton Industries Corporation, the heat of the field, dry weather and the wind are leading to an increase in the production of salt. And the Delhi Metro is celebrating its 30th Foundation Day today. Since the last 3 decades, it has become the lifeline of the national capital. Inaugurated in 2002, the Delhi Metro has served millions of passengers over the years and grown manifold. Take a look at this report by DD India on its Foundation Day.
The lifeline of Delhi. The Delhi Metro has transformed how people commute in the national capital. Successfully running for the last 3 decades, the Delhi Metro over the years has spread over the city through its wide network, connecting almost every corner of not just Delhi, but also its satellite towns. The Delhi Metro started operations on 24th December 2002 between Shahadra and Tees Hazari in the northern part of the city for just about 8.4 kilometers. The operation, which began on the metro's red line some 22 years back, has spread its web of network across the city to over 390 kilometers now in the last 2 decades. Over the last many years, overcoming multiple challenges, today the Delhi Metro has 286 active stations in the New Delhi network alone. The metro has 12 active lines spread across even the satellite towns of Noida, Faridabad and Gurgaon, setting an example of green and energy-efficient connectivity not just in India but across the world. The Delhi Metro over the years also upgraded its technologies, making it one of the most advanced rapid transport systems in the country. Some 5 years back, the Delhi Metro also inaugurated its first ever driverless train, marking a massive technological achievement in the sector. From the Prime Minister of India to the President of India, all have travelled in the Delhi Metro, making it one of India's pride in the mass transit system. The Delhi Metro is called the lifeline of the capital's mass transit system because it serves lakhs of commuters every day, also helping in decluttering the Delhi roads and saving hours of time for people. Not just this, also saving lakhs of carbon dioxide being emitted into the atmosphere. It is one of the most secured public transport system in the country, manned by the CISF round the clock. It is also known for being the cleanest mass transport system in the country. The Delhi Metro is operated by the Delhi Metro Rail Corporation Limited or the DMRC. The foundation stone for the organization was laid down on 3rd May 1995 with the vision of setting up a safe, faster and green transport system for the national capital of India. The Delhi Metro has transformed how people travel in Delhi. The success of the Delhi Metro is making the model being replicated across the country now. Dibyendu Mondal's report for DD India.
All right, that's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Leopard from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.
Ten states and